Hello. Today, we will be focusing on Module 1 of Google Docs training. In this training, you will learn how to access Google Documents from your Google homepage, then upload a previously created file from Word so that you may share it with another individual for collaborative efforts and editing rights. Now, if you already know how to access the document in Google Docs, create one from a previously created lesson, and can share it, go ahead and create one and share it with your instructor now. If done correctly, the instructor will allow you to skip Module 1 and move straight on to Module 2. At this time, we will begin Module 1. As you can see, we are in the Google homepage. Go ahead and go to the upper right-hand corner where there are 9 tiny squares that if you hover over, it will eventually say Google Apps. For this training, we're going to go ahead and call it the waffle. Go ahead and click on the waffle now. Once you have clicked on that, you can see that there are 13 apps that are accessible to you. Go ahead and click on the account application that looks like a blue shield with a person in it. Now that you've done so, you will be instructed to sign in. Use your Gmail account and password to do so. Now you are logged in to your Gmail account. You can now access any applications that Google offers, including your email. So go ahead and go back up to the waffle in the right-hand corner and click on it again. Looking at the applications, you'll notice that there is a button that says More towards the bottom. If you click on that, it will share 11 more applications accessible to you. That's where you're going to find Google Docs. Go ahead and click on the blue sheet of paper that has lines on it that says Docs. As you can see, it's very much laid out very similarly to Word. You can access documents you've already created, or you can create new ones using a blank document or templates that are there for you. For the purposes of our lesson, we're going to go over here to the left-hand side and click on Blank Document. As you can see, it is very similar to the layout that you would see in a Microsoft Word document. Now, we are going to transfer a lesson plan that was created in Word over to this Google document. So we're going to go up to File and click on Open. Seeing as that we have not created this one, we are going to have to click on Upload to access our file. We're going to take it from our computer. The lesson that I have created is on Roman culture. We're going to go ahead and open that. Now you can see that the file is transferred over and it is almost identical to what you would have had before. I would recommend that you take the time to go ahead and check it and see if you need to adjust anything that might not quite have transferred over correctly. Now, you do not have to worry about saving it because Google automatically saves it into your Google Drive for accessibility later. Now that you have created your lesson, it's time to share it with someone. Pick a partner and go ahead and I'm going to teach you how to share, and you're going to share your lesson with that person so that they can help make suggestions along the way, like you will learn how to do in module number 2. We're going to go up here to this blue button that says Share. As you can see, it's currently only private and you only have access to it. Go ahead and click on it. Now, you may pick anyone that you want that can access this document. Once you have done that, you can go over here to the little pencil and click on it, and it will give you can edit it, you can comment it, you can view it. They can do all of the above. Once you have made that selection, go ahead and hit Send. This allows that person to access the document, and you are ready to move on to module number 2.
Hello, and welcome to Module 2, Collaboration. Objective: you will learn how to utilize editing capabilities in a shared document and how to use the chat feature for collaboration. Let's get started. First, begin on your home page. Click on the waffle and click on the icon that's named Drive. In order to access a shared document, you have two options. Either go to the quick access location or the shared with me in the left-hand column. I'm going to select the shared with me. Then I simply click on the document that was recently shared with me. Now that I have accessed my document, I want to point out a couple of things. First, this document was shared to 3 other individuals. That gives me capability to communicate and chat or utilize the chat feature. These individuals also have editing capability, including myself, in order to make any adjustments to the document. I will demonstrate the chat feature. One important notation is that the chat feature cannot be enabled unless another individual is logged into the document. In order to chat, you will simply go up to the icon that says Show Chat. In the bottom, in the bottom box, you will type in your message to the individuals that are in your document. Much like an instant message, your message will pop up. Once the individual responds, you will see it in the chat feature. If your chat feature is closed out, in order to know that someone has responded to your chat, you would simply see a red dot on the Show Chat feature. Let's continue. In order to edit the document, it is much like a Word document. The individuals that have access to the document can also see you making changes to the document. As stated in Module 1, any changes that are made in Google Doc are automatically saved. Any adjustments that need to be made as well, the individuals that are logged in can also see them. And this concludes Module 2. Thank you.
Welcome to Module 3, our last module, where we will learn how to evaluate the group's document using the version history and comment on the document to provide feedback. Now, before we begin, it is important that the collaborative assignment is completed before evaluation. There should be sufficient time for learners to collaborate and complete the document and a due date for when the document should be shared for evaluation. As the completed document is now open, we are going to view the version history, which allows you to see all the changes that the group has made and to see which person made these specific edits. First, go to File menu, which is located at the top left corner underneath the document name. Now we're going to scroll down to where it says Version History. Then it will provide you with two options, but we're going to click on the See Version History. A new screen will open that has the version history timestamps of when the document was worked on, right over here on the right. There should be the learners' names and a color next to it, which will indicate who made the edits on the document. For example, let's click on the timestamp February 17 at 5:56 p.m. And this is the imported Word document that was transferred over here to the Google Docs. And as you can see, the text is highlighted in teal. And when I put my cursor over it, I'm able to see the learner's name and how they contributed to this. Now you can also go through all the timestamps just to verify that each group member has contributed to the document and made the necessary edits for collaboration. Now, once you are done with the version history, we can go back to the original version. So, to do so, you're going to go to the top left, right next to the date, and click on the arrow next to the document name, and it says back, and we'll click on that to go back to the original version. Now that we have viewed the version history to see group contribution, we are now going to learn how to use the comment feature to see if learners were communicating with each other during the assignment. You will be assessing that each learner has left 3 to 5 comments on the document. To view comments, on the top right next to the share, there is an icon that says Open Comment History. And you'll click on that. Then you're going to click on where it says comment to add your comment. Now your name will appear along with the text box, and this is where you are going to be providing the appropriate feedback to the learners during their editing process together. Once you are done with your comment, then you are going to click the post comment for your learners to view. To ensure that our learners have an understanding of using the collaborative features in Google Docs, you are going to be creating your own rubric to assess student contribution and completion of the collaborative group assignment. Here is an example of the summative assessment rubric that you might be making. So, on the summative assessment, it is very important that you do have the following criteria to grade your students: sharing settings, chat feature, comment feature, and group collaboration. Not only should you be having these following criteria, but you also need to see if your students have exceeded expectations, met expectations, needs work, or failed to meet expectations. And this is going to be the final assessment on the completed project. Now, as we conclude our training modules, hopefully you will soon master the skill of utilizing Google Docs to implement into your own classroom for collaborative purposes. This is a great application to incorporate into your lessons, as this can beneficially impact your assignments and student collaboration. Thank you for watching the training modules, and if need be, you can always go back and view the other modules for assistance at any time. Thanks.
Now I would like to discuss some of the pros and cons that Google Docs has. There are many pros to using Google Docs. One of the best parts of Google Docs is it's free for use as long as you have a Google account. If you have a Gmail account, you can access it through their user drive, and it will store everything in a cloud format. Another use is that you can access it from anywhere as long as you're on a computer that has internet access and work from any place in the world. When you're working and you are trying to transfer something that you've worked on somewhere else to Google Docs, you can transfer it because it interfaces with Office applications as well as other word processing platforms, which makes it easy to edit and share in a free platform. And when you're working, you're able to create feedback and comments directly on the document. So if 2 or 3 people are working on it, or an instructor is checking a student's work while a student is working on it, they can leave feedback right there on the document in several different ways, and it's immediate. These are just a few of the positives of having Google Docs, but there are a couple negatives to having Google Docs. First off, not only must you have a computer, but you have to have computers with internet capability. You can edit and work offline with Google Docs, but it will not sync into your clouded platform until you are connected to the internet, and that can make it kind of stressful if you don't think to save it. Another issue is not everybody is comfortable with using technology, or they don't like using technology, and if they're not interested in it, they will not use it. These are just a few of the issues with Google Docs.
We are now going to discuss the usage and recommendations of Google Docs in an educational setting. Now, one of the usage of Google Docs is the collaborative purposes. Google Docs are one platform that educators have implemented in school curriculum in an attempt to increase student participation through collaboration and creation. The overview of the features in our training modules described how to use the editing, chat, sharing, and commenting features that groups can utilize when working on the assignment together. Now, Google Docs also has the capability to allow students to work offline, import images, paste hyperlinks, add references, add applications as needed to enhance the use of the notebook, and add links to other portions of the notebook. This application can let users go right to the source on the web or Google Drive to allow more exploration for the students as they share their references. Now, when opening the Google Docs application, there are various options to choose depending on the type of document students plan on working together. With these choices, each have their own special features and purposes. They have all been shown to contribute to student-driven activities in literacy settings. It all depends on what kind of document students plan on creating together. Now let's discuss some recommendations on how to integrate this application into other educational resources. For instance, distant learning courses. Docs were particularly useful outside of class in allowing flexible access for students to complete work. Students are able to communicate and collaborate on an assignment together from any place and at any time. Next, there is digital writing workshops. Doc's combination of small group instruction and peer editing is well suited for digital writing workshops in that text can be shared and manipulated simultaneously. The use of docs can be incorporated outside the classroom and allow individuals to share their works to others who can be helpful on providing their own feedback and edits for positive constructive criticism. Lastly, there is the literacy instruction. There are a number of innovative possibilities with docs in literacy instruction, such as students correcting sample papers for grammar and conventions, and chain storytelling, where peers take turns adding their own entries to a running text. Google Docs has been a useful platform in the education system as educators and administrators have been finding ways to utilize it within their curriculum. Thank you for watching our Google Docs presentation, and hopefully you have found ways to implement this application into your own classroom.